Hi everybody, welcome back. Hope you're all keeping well. We're going to carry on with the wiring now for the computer control. I'm going to fit these little modules. These are the current sensing modules for the track. I'll explain more about them as we go along and do the install. So let's get back over to the board. So here we have the board that the last video I replaced all the point motors with the MTB point motors. So now I'm going to start the computer control process on this for the track. Now I'm going to try and explain this the simplest way I can. So this is the command station I'm going to be using. So this is going to be my new DCC system. This connects to the computer and I use iTrains to control the track. So this is the hardware, the iTrains is the software on the computer. Now obviously if you have a loco, let's just put this on the track here, it's not live at the moment, so it's on this piece of track. So where you have two wires on this track connected to the bus, one of the wires, and I'm going to be using the black wire or the negative wire to go through this. So power input goes in there at the top, and you can see all the bottom ones are marked J. So that means every section of track will be on one of these. And then you go into the computer software and you program to say, this feedback module here, we'll call it feedback module A. Connection number 1 is connected to this piece of track. Connection number 2 is to this piece of track. Connection number 3 to this piece of track, and so on and so on. The more, my understanding of this now is the more sections you have, the better the computer control will be, because it will know which section of track the loco is in. It'll go, right, this loco is in section 1. It's now proceeding, it's in section 2, now it's in section 3. And I'll be able to work out the speed profiles of the loco and everything to know exactly where it's going to be and where to stop on the piece of track. I hope that makes sense. So basically, each section, and I think I counted on this board alone, there is 27 sections. So I've got a couple of these modules because each module's got 16. So each section will be allocated one of these numbers, and that will be programmed in to the computer control. I'll show you the sort of overview of the software later on in the video, but at the moment what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wire this up. So each of the negatives, so the negatives are at the back rail, and you can see they've got insulating fish plates, so each section is completely insulated from the next, which is the other thing you need to do because you can't have modules running into each other. So I'm going to flip the board over now and we'll start the wiring, and I hope as I go through the video it'll become clearer. There's the wiring complete now for this board. You can make it out, but I've called that sensor A, and then over here we have sensor B, and I've marked out on the plan there where each connection is go. So these ones here, because I've run out of spaces on these two, they're going to be connected from the next board. So I'm going to put this back in place now. I've tested it all, it's all working, all the tracks work, there's power going to everything. So it's a case of now putting this back in place and then finishing up the wiring on the rest of the layout. So there's going to be another sensor going over on that board there, and that will cover what's remaining on this board, and this board. So I'm going to put it centrally on that board over there so there isn't too much of a cable run for the sensors. So on with the next bit. So there you can see the final module's in place. That's module C, as I've called it, and you can see all the feeds heading off to the different bits of track there, so the system can measure the feedbacks. You notice that grey wire there coming out? That is daisy chained to the other modules and back through to the command station. And then you have the black and red wire there at the top going in. That is connected to the bus. That powers the unit and obviously sends the power out through the feedbacks to the track. So if we look, the layout is running. It's all wired up and working. And we can see here the control module You can see we got power coming in. That's a USB connection to the PC. And we have the power going out to the track, out to the bus wire. And then we have the local net wire, which is that grey wire. And you can see that goes down. And it's into the first module there, and then daisy chained to that module, and then around to the first module we looked at. So that is how the information gets back about the feedbacks through to the command station, and then into the computer control system. And we'll have a look at that now. So here we have iTrains. This is the software I use. So this software is connected to the command station and controls all the trains and the layout. I've got two screens here, just makes it a bit easier to use, but you don't need two screens. You can have these throttles down in this area here. So you can see I've got 6 throttles up here. That's for the 6 trains that are actually on my layout at the moment. And if we look over here, you can see this is showing them going around the layout. You can see where they're parked in the sidings, and the trains are actually moving as they go through the sections. Now there's a lot to do initially to set this up. If we just go into the switchboard, this is where you go in to set up your iTrains, your track plan, as you can see there. It's a simplified track plan. You set up your sections, your direction, and your feedback module. I'm not going to go into much more detail than that because there's 3 very helpful YouTubers that I find out there who do this. Let me just bring up their pages so you can see them. The first one is Bob Fuller. Excellent tutorials on using iTrains, how it all works. Hillman Halt is another one I found. Very good explanations on there. And then my good friend Nick from Rule 1 Model Railways. Before I'd done this, I had absolutely plagued with questions about how it all works, because he uses iTrain, and that's what he uses to run his layouts. And he's been very helpful. He's been on the end of the phone for me, so thanks a lot, Nick. So that's just a brief overview of, a very brief overview of iTrains and how it works. You can set up routes on this, like I will be doing on here. If you come along to my live streams, you'll see more and more of this working as I learn about the system myself. If you've got any questions, you can certainly ask, and if I can answer them, I'll try and point you to someone who can. But I'm enjoying the system so far. It seems pretty straightforward, pretty simple to use. You can put in your routes. I've got a route in here now for my next Thursday live stream where my class 21 will just be shunting backwards and forwards and doing some various movements. So it's always on the move during the live stream. And then I want to work up onto routing these trains around, so when they pull into the station area here, it'll stop, the next one will trundle out, and then eventually connect signals and everything to the whole lot. And you can get the locos to play sounds as they're going around as well. So still a lot to learn on this. I'm looking forward to doing it, but if you've got any questions, do ask. I'll see what I can do. So there we go, guys. That's my initial setup using computer control. Have we been able to follow that along and haven't made you even more confused? As I say, you got any questions, do ask. But it's quite simple. Modules, connect into the track. The modules then feedback into the command station, which then connects to the computer. And then there's a little bit of setup when you first get it going, setting up your track plan, telling the track plan where the modules are, what they're connected to, how long they are as well. It's something you need as a tape measure because you've got to measure each section. And when you're entering your locos onto the system, you need to know how long your locos are as well, and how far the wheels are back from the buffers. So it knows if it enters this track, there's still 2-3 centimeters ahead of the pickup point. All stuff like that. I'm learning. Might do a couple more videos on it, but I'll link those 3 channels down below. Great information on there. Very simple how-tos and explain everything really, really well. So if you've got any more questions, maybe go to them. But certainly if there's anything I can do, I will ask. So as always, a big thank you to my channel members and patrons, whose names will be scrolling here. I'll pop another video here and here, the old subscribe button in the middle. Again, got any questions, pop them down below. Give me the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.